my name is Eble, and this is my persuasive speech. Since I've been a kid, my parents have been taking me to the national parks that are all over America to see some of the natural beauty of this world, and it's been a blessing to see some things that can only be seen in one place. National parks give us an incredible opportunity to get out into the world and to experience it with others. The national park system actively encourages young people to get out into the world, to explore new environments, and to learn more. By encouraging the American people to get out into nature, encouraging the interest and thirst for knowledge of children, and by helping save species from extinction, the National Park Service is a gift that should be better utilized by the American people, so that all future generations can enjoy what we have the chance to enjoy now. According to the National Park Service's official website, their mission is to preserve unimpaired the natural and cultural resources and the values of the park system for the enjoyment, education, and inspiration of the future generations. This lofty goal aims not just at preserving the beauty for the outdoors, but it also aims at letting people continue to enjoy it for future generations. Every year, the National Park Service reports approximately 318 million new visitors, and as the number of parks grow, that number continues to grow too. Just recently, we've had Indiana Dunes and the New River Gorge added to the list of national parks that's just ever growing. This mission requires not just the work of countless employees, but it also requires the passion of the public. Events like the Fenton Treasure Hunt have been something to inspire passion and excitement for the national parks unlike anything else. The treasure hunt was begun by Forrest Fenn. He was an art collector for most of his life, but from a very young age, he'd been in love with the outdoors. He put together a treasure chest containing about $2 million in gold and other valuables, and then he hid it somewhere in the Rockies. He then published his memoir, Thrill of the Chase, which was about his life, his time in the military, and his time just enjoying the outdoors like in Yellowstone National Park. In it, there was a poem with 9 clues that could lead someone to the location of the treasure. And for about a decade, people were inspired to get out into nature. They would go out and they would look for the treasure. And it brought people together. People would create online communities, there would be meetups, there would be interviews, and it was just a giant, massive uniting factor in the national park community. Despite all this good, some people were incredibly reckless, and according to Barbarossi, at least 5 of the hunters lost their lives in the process of trying to find the treasure. In 2020, the treasure was found, much to the dismay of many hunters. They were sad that the chase was over and that it had officially ended. The Fenn family confirmed that the treasure was found as Forrest had died by the time that the identity of the finder was released. In respect to Fenn and the natural beauty of the place where the treasure was hidden, the finder of the treasure, Jack Stoof, decided to keep the location a secret. In an interview with Barbarossi, he revealed, "Fenn and I don't want it to be turned into a tourist attraction, and so they chose to keep the location a secret and naturally beautiful forever." Today, others have taken up to fill the shoes that Fenn left, and people have continued to hide hunts, and to this day there remain websites that are dedicated to finding treasures and to keep log of current treasures that people can go out and find. The National Park System also recognizes that as we progress into an age of technology, it's important to keep kids moving into outdoors at a young age. This will allow them to form an interest in nature, and it will keep them coming back forever. In response to this, the Every Kid Outdoors program was made. The program provides every 4th grader in America with a national park pass so that they can, according to the National Park Service, explore, learn, and recreate in spectacular settings. My family actually took advantage of this, and whenever we had the pass, we visited Arches National Park, we visited Pueblo National Park, and we visited Canyonlands. It's an absolutely incredible gift, as going to these parks could cost over $100 if you're going to just go out and visit a bunch. And so people can use these passes not just to get into parks, but they can use them to get into like national monuments, they can use them to get into national forests. And I really wish that more people would utilize this gift, because it's literally free money and you can go see some incredible things with it. Until now, I've focused on the national park's benefit for humans and what they can do for you and me. While there are countless benefits for humans, the animals, plants, and the one-of-a-kind environments that also thrived as a result of the National Park Service deserve to be acknowledged in this. The National Park Service has taken many measures to protect, preserve, and research the natural environment. 2 examples of this are the Yellowstone Wolf Project and the preservation of the Pueblo homes in Mesa Verde National Park. When Yellowstone National Park first became a park in 1871, There were no current protections for the animals there as there were today, and there were many ranchers around there that had elk. And these elk were being destroyed by the wolf population, and so the National Park Service gave these ranchers permission to hunt the wolves into extinction. By the mid-20s, the wolves were completely gone, and they were never seen in the area until they were reintroduced. As a result of this, the elk population began to run out of control. They would ruin the homes of beavers for the winter because they would eat all of these willow trees in the low-lying brush, which decimated the population. And really, it was having negative impacts on the population, like everywhere in Yellowstone National Park, as elk were beginning to appear places that they really shouldn't be. In the 1980s, the National Park System recognized this mistake, and they began to make moves to reintroduce the wolves to the area. By 1995, wolves had returned to the park, and they were very closely monitored to make sure that no drastic changes were made to the park. The park has since returned to how it was really meant to be whenever the wolves were originally there, and many scientists were amazed to see that very few species interactions have drastically changed. The bears and wolves don't fight as much as they thought they were. They're very happy that this has gone so well, according to Boyce. The National Park System's ability to acknowledge their past mistakes has allowed them to correct what's wrong and to further protect the natural environment that they have been tasked to protect. Mesa Verde National Park is renowned for its preservation of the cliff dwellings that were built in the 1100s. These structures range from single-room villages to homes to villages of more than 150 people, like this one. The dwellings were raided by cowboys whenever they were first discovered in the 1900s, and were only officially protected whenever the National Park System took over. Since then, they've been preserved, and now you can actually take tours of them and visit the towns. You typically start from up above, you'll climb down some ladders, you'll take a small hike, and then you'll actually get to walk through the remains of the village. Sadly, there aren't very many pottery artifacts or anything because, as I mentioned, the cowboys raided them, which is really a great archaeological loss. These are incredible villages that we've just been able to randomly find on the side of a cliff. These efforts and similar endeavors are helpful in both preserving the natural and creative environments that are in danger of being destroyed either by humans or by time. In conclusion, the National Park Service is protecting the natural environment for people today, the children who will inherit the responsibility to protect and preserve the land, and the history of the animals that still live there. According to research I conducted, the majority of my audience, approximately 66%, has been to a national park, and 89% believe that the conservation of nature is an endeavor worth fighting for. While not everyone knows everything about them, when asked what they thought the parks were about, someone just simply replied, pretty, while another said that they were created to provide legal protection to preserve the area for future generations. After this presentation, I hope you can see the value in both of these opinions, and that both of them are correct. But most of all, I really hope that this inspires you to get out into nature and to visit a national park.